Have you ever heard of Albania? A European country where mountains meet the sea, where faith changes from village to village, and where eagles are everywhere, even on the national flag. But why do so few people know about this place? And what's so surprising about its geography? Today, you're going to discover Albania, the European country that remained isolated for decades and that hides wild landscapes, intriguing borders, and spy movie-style cities. Imagine a country where almost everything is mountain. In Albania, over 70% of the land is mountainous terrain, shaping not only the landscape, but also the culture, daily life, and even the history of its people. It's one of the most mountainous countries in Europe, more rugged than Switzerland or Austria in terms of terrain density. The most striking mountains are in the north, in the region of the Albanian Alps, also known as the Prokletje Mountains or the Accursed Mountains. With peaks rising over 2,700 meters, this mountain range is a true stone wall, with steep slopes, deep valleys, and trails that challenge even seasoned climbers. The name Accursed comes from the extreme difficulty of crossing them, especially in ancient times. Many villages remained isolated from the rest of the country for centuries. In central and southern Albania, the mountains continue, but with wider valleys and cultivated hillsides. A good example is the Vjose River Valley, considered one of Europe's last wild rivers, meaning it flows freely without dams or barriers, creating canyons, river beaches, and harboring rich biodiversity. The country's hydrography is complex. Rivers like the Drin, the longest in Albania, flow from the interior to the Adriatic Sea, crossing cities and fertile plains. Many of these rivers originate in the mountains, fed by melting snow and crystal-clear springs. There are also large lakes, such as Lake Shkodër, shared with Montenegro, and Lake Ohrid, one of the oldest lakes in the world, with endemic species found nowhere else on Earth. As you move toward the coast, the terrain changes. Western Albania features a narrow coastal plain, home to some of the largest cities like Tirana and Durrës. But even here, the mountains are never far. The Albanian Riviera, stretching along the Ionian Sea, is a dramatic landscape of steep cliffs plunging into turquoise waters, often compared to the coasts of Greece or Italy, yet still largely untouched by mass tourism. Because of this rugged terrain, many areas in Albania remain hard to access. In several inland regions, there are no railways, and roads wind for hours between hills and cliffs. This isolation has helped preserve ancient traditions in some villages, as modernization arrived late due to geographic barriers. In short, Albania's terrain is more than just scenery. It's a protagonist. It shapes life, the economy, and even the Albanian worldview. It's a country carved by nature in its rawest form: sharp mountains, wild rivers, and secret valleys. Albania lies in one of the most complex and fascinating regions of Europe, the Balkans. Its geographical position serves as a crossroads between different worlds. To the north, the Slavic influences of Montenegro and Kosovo. To the east, North Macedonia, with its Hellenic heritage. To the south, the millennia-old presence of Greece. And to the west, the blue waters of the Adriatic Sea separate it from Italy by just 70 kilometers in a straight line. These borders are anything but simple. The mountainous geography makes many territorial boundaries follow ridges, rivers, and narrow valleys. This creates areas that are difficult to access, especially near Montenegro and Kosovo. Some villages are just a few kilometers from another country, but reaching them may take hours through winding roads and trails. For most of the 20th century, Albania became one of the most isolated countries in the world. After breaking ties with the Soviet Union in the 1960s, dictator Enver Hoxha enforced a radical self-sufficiency policy. The country shut itself off, not just physically, but ideologically. Paranoia over foreign invasions led to the construction of over 170,000 concrete bunkers throughout the territory, from beaches to alpine peaks. They still stand, scars of a fearful and closed-off era. The border with Kosovo, though peaceful today, carries deep significance. Albania is the ancestral homeland of the Albanian people, but half of all ethnic Albanians live outside the country, especially in Kosovo, where they form the majority. This historic division has created a split identity, yet also a strong sense of cross-border unity. The relationship with Greece to the south is marked by cultural exchange but also maritime disputes. The Ionian coast contains islands and energy resources contested by both countries, adding a geopolitical layer to Albania's southern shores. Albania's location was also crucial during wartime. In World War II, it was invaded by both Italians and Germans. Later, in the 1990s, its proximity to the Balkan conflicts, such as the Yugoslav wars, left it vulnerable, even though it wasn't directly involved. Today, this strategic position is viewed as an opportunity. Albania is seeking to join the European Union, leverage its coast as a trade bridge to Italy, and highlight its location between Central Europe, the Mediterranean, and the East. From isolated enclave to a gateway to the Balkans, Albania is redefining its role on the map. Few countries offer such dramatic climate variation in such a small area as Albania. Within just 300 kilometers in width, the country features a Mediterranean climate on the coast and alpine climate in its mountainous interior, creating extreme contrasts that make it possible to swim in the sea and ski in the snow on the same day. Along the coast, bathed by the Adriatic and Ionian seas, summers are long, hot, and dry, while winters are mild and humid. Cities like Durrës, Vlorë, and Sarandi regularly experience temperatures over 35 degrees in summer, with scenery resembling Greek islands or southern Italy. The sea is crystal clear and coastal breezes temper the heat. But just a few hours inland, the scene changes drastically. In the mountains, such as the Albanian Alps, the climate becomes harsh and unpredictable. Winters bring heavy snowfalls, with temperatures dropping to 20 degrees Celsius at high altitudes. In places like Valbona National Park or the Theth region, entire villages can remain snow-covered for weeks. These contrasts create unique microclimates. In sheltered valleys, milder farming zones develop, while on high plateaus the landscape is dry and windy. This deeply influences agriculture, which must adapt to very localized conditions throughout the country. Albania also faces climate extremes, especially in winter, when heavy rains lead to flash floods in coastal plains and urban areas. Rivers such as the Vjosa, Drin, and Shkumbin can swell rapidly, causing destruction. In particularly hot summers, heat waves and forest fires become common, especially in the dry southern slopes. Despite the risks, this climatic diversity supports extraordinary biodiversity. Albania is home to over 700 vertebrate species and 3,250 types of plants. Many of these ecosystems are protected within 15 national parks, ranging from temperate forests to alpine habitats. Visitors can spot Balkan lynx, brown bears, wolves, and golden eagles, the national symbol. On the coast, areas like Lake Butrint and the Karavasta wetlands serve as sanctuaries for migratory birds like flamingos and pelicans. In the mountains, vegetation shifts with altitude, from beech and pine forests to almost barren alpine meadows. With so many contrasts, Albania's climate is a living force that shapes its geography, lifestyles, and even its architecture. Stone houses with steep roofs in the mountains and wide porched homes by the coast are direct responses to this dynamic and demanding environment. At first glance, Albania may seem like a poor and isolated country, and indeed its GDP per capita remains one of the lowest in Europe. But behind that image lies a geography full of valuable resources and strategic potential. Its location, terrain, and underground wealth hold secrets that could shape its future. The Albanian economy is full of contrasts. On one side are subsistence farming villages, where families still plow the land with oxen and produce olive oil, cheeses, and dried fruits. On the other, rapidly evolving cities like Tirana are seeing foreign investment in infrastructure, tourism, and energy. Geography is one of Albania's greatest assets. Positioned between the Balkans, the Mediterranean, and Italy, it serves as a natural trade corridor, especially for gas and goods. The country is part of the Trans-Adriatic Pipeline project, connecting Azerbaijan to Europe through Greece, Albania, the Adriatic Sea, and Italy, making it a key player in Europe's energy security. Beneath Albanian soil lie strategic and underexploited minerals. The country is one of the world's largest producers of chromium and also holds reserves of iron, copper, nickel, bauxite, and oil. Offshore platforms in the Ionian Sea hint at untapped energy potential. The energy sector also includes renewables. the mountainous terrain is ideal for hydropower plants, which supply most of the country's electricity. Solar and wind projects are gaining traction too, especially in the dry southern regions. Another growing industry is tourism. Long overlooked as a European destination, Albania is now attracting travelers seeking authentic and affordable experiences. Its hidden beaches, historic towns, and wild hiking routes are being rediscovered by backpackers and eco-tourists. The country promotes itself as the new Croatia, but cheaper and less crowded. Still, the economy faces serious challenges: corruption, poor infrastructure, tax evasion, and dependence on remittances sent by Albanians abroad. It's estimated that over 30% of GDP is influenced by these remittances, highlighting the scale of the diaspora and the lack of local opportunities. Despite these limits, Albania's geography offers a rare mix of advantages: mineral-rich mountains, energetic rivers, a strategic coastline, and a resilient population. Together, they could form the base for an economic transformation, if wisely managed. Albania is a small country, but its cultural identity is deeply rooted in its landscape. The very name Albanians use for their country, Shqipëri, means land of the eagles. The double-headed eagle on the national flag symbolizes freedom, vigilance, and resilience. In mountainous regions, you can still see real eagles soaring, a living emblem of national pride. The origin of the Albanian people is one of Europe's greatest mysteries. Many scholars believe they descend from the Illyrians, an ancient group who inhabited the Balkans over 2,000 years ago. This ancient connection helps explain why the Albanian language is unique. It doesn't directly stem from Latin, Slavic, or Greek, though it has been influenced by all of them. Albania's geography has helped preserve these roots. The mountains served as natural barriers, isolating villages for centuries and allowing for the development of local dialects, distinct customs, and tribal traditions. In many northern regions, people still live by the principles of the Kanun, an ancient oral code of laws based on honor, hospitality, revenge, and keeping one's word. The Kanun governed everything from land ownership to dispute resolution. While modern legal systems have replaced it officially, it still shapes rural mindsets, even influencing delicate matters like family blood feuds, which sadly persist in some remote areas. Religiously, Albania is a rare case. The population includes Sunni Muslims, Bektashis, a mystical Islamic sect, Orthodox Christians, and Catholics, along with a significant number of secular or agnostic citizens. After decades under a communist regime, the only one in the world to officially ban religion, Albanians developed a society where religious tolerance is the norm. It's not uncommon to see a church and mosque side by side, or families with members from different faiths living peacefully together. Popular culture reflects this diversity. Traditional music using flutes and lutes varies by region. Folk costumes, worn during festivals, are richly embroidered with patterns that indicate geographic origin and family clan. Group dances like the Vale feature circular steps that symbolize unity and cooperation, values essential in mountainous communities where survival depends on solidarity. In Albania, the landscape isn't just a backdrop, it's part of the cultural DNA. The way people live, build, sing, and believe is tied directly to the mountains, rivers, and borders that have shaped their story for millennia. Albania is a country where the contrast between city and nature is striking. Its urban and rural landscapes reveal layers of history, unique architecture, and a geography that shapes daily life. From fortress towns carved into the mountains to villages frozen in time, every corner of the country holds a distinct identity. The capital Tirana is Albania's political, economic, and cultural hub. In recent decades, it has undergone a dramatic transformation, from gray and communist to vibrant and colorful. Buildings are painted with murals, modern boulevards meet Ottoman neighborhoods, and the Boulevardi Deshmare e Kombit showcases this renewal with government buildings, museums, and art spaces. But it's the smaller historic cities that truly stand out. Berat, known as the City of 1,000 Windows, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its white houses stacked on the hillside, all facing the hilltop castle, create an unforgettable panorama. Gjirokastër, the Stone City, has cobblestone streets, slate rooftops, and medieval fortresses, and is also the birthplace of dictator Enver Hoxha. In the north, the Valbona region offers natural grandeur. The Valbona Valley, surrounded by the Albanian Alps, looks straight out of a legend. Snowy peaks, dense forests, icy rivers, and trails linking remote villages. It's a top destination for ecotourism and trekking, rivaling the Swiss Alps in beauty, but still mostly untouched. Along the coast, the Albanian Riviera remains a well-kept secret. Towns like Himare and Durmi offer white stone beaches and turquoise waters nestled between mountains and cliffs. The scenic coastal road that connects them is one of the most breathtaking in Europe, winding between the sea and the peaks. Further south, near the Greek border, lies the Butrint National Park, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here you'll find Greek, Roman, Byzantine, and Venetian ruins, all nestled in a forest beside a brackish lagoon, a place where nature and history blend like nowhere else. Albania is a land of distinct regions where each city and valley tells a different chapter of the same story, one of resilience, adaptation, and deep connection to the land. A small country in size, but vast in geographical and cultural richness.